안녕하세요, 이건입니다. 자, 토트넘과 맨시티의 프리미어리그 경기를 하루 앞두고 있습니다. 포스테코글루 감독의 기자회견에 왔습니다. 이 맨시티에 대해서 어떤 이야기를 했는지, 이 경기에 대한 포스테코글루 감독의 생각 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
It'll be same as the weekend in terms of squad-wise. Everyone got through the weekend well, no issues from it. We could obviously protect a few guys in that. Pedro and Matters didn't start, so everyone's good. With the injured guys, nothing's really changed. They're still progressing, training sort of on and off with us, and hopefully the next 7-10 days reintroduction. Oh, it's a great challenge for them. Delap was a handful last game, and Erling's, he's the premier striker and still, I think, in world football when he's up and running. So, great challenge, but obviously, whether he plays or not, it'll still be a great test for all our group. Yeah, look, you're confident. You're always looking forward to the challenge. Man City are an outstanding football club, great manager, still got great footballers, and still play really, challenging football to any opponent. So, but we've enjoyed the games against them, whether that was this year or even last year. You're going to get a good football game. They're going to try and win. They're going to play expansive. We're going to try and do the same, and it's going to be a good test for us. Yeah, Rodri's been great. In terms of his contract situation, again, that's handled by other people, and obviously we're, a lot of our kind of strategising is not just short term; it's about the longer term. Rodri, I think, especially, sort of this latter period is really sort of getting back, I think, to the levels he wants to be. He obviously was coming off a long-term injury last year, and then came back, looked really good, then got another injury, and it's really disruptive. And then even this year, he got a bit off to a false start with obviously his long suspension. So, but you can see that he just needs regular game time, and he's getting up to speed. And really good guy as well around the group. He's experienced now, and from our perspective, in this run-in, it's going to be really important. Yeah, I mean, everyone's dismissing that we lost 2 cup games in there as well, so it hasn't been exactly 3 in a row. So we understand that there was a disappointment in there, but look, I think the last couple of games in particular has certainly given us encouragement in terms of just being able to re-energise the group, whether that's the guys who worked really hard through that period were really challenged, or the guys coming back in. There's just a real good energy around it, because I think the guys who kind of missed out all that, they've been really keen to contribute, and they're seeing the enthusiasm that Vicario and Brennan on the weekend, Mattis coming back in, Destiny, these guys have brought. It's helped the rest of the group. So I think we've benefited from that, the 2 weeks we've had of no midweek games. So all those things, and obviously then you get 2 wins, which makes people feel good, and it's something for us to build on. Yeah, look, potentially, because I've always said that, I still feel like we're on the right path, and yet every other indicator you look at, when you're looking at a sort of sporting club in terms of results, doesn't really show that. But I've always felt that we're building a really good group of players who have a lot of growth and potentially could really make an impact, but we just haven't been able to do that. But having said that, there's still plenty for us to play for this year, and still an opportunity for us to make a real impact. Yeah, some things come in 33s. I just felt like, like I said, it's always a challenge when you play City. They challenge you in ways other clubs don't in terms of their football. And I know that they're obviously, for them, they're going through a rough trot, but their football is still a real challenge to play against. But it's a great challenge. It's what you want. You want to measure yourself. Because like I said, they're going to come here and try and play and be dominant on the ball. We want to be dominant And you know against Man City you can't be. It's impossible to be sort of dominant in all facets of the game. They're going to have times in the game where they take control, and it's how we cope with that, how we deal with that. We've done that not too bad in the games we've played against them. And, you know, for us tomorrow, that's going to be the challenging bit. I think, you know, when we have our moments, we've got to show the quality. I mean, I know we beat them, you know, the scoreline sounds like it was convincing at their place, but it was the quality of our finishing that was the difference. We didn't create a lot of chances, but the quality of our goals was high up, and you have to against them. So, love coming up against you know, Pep's teams, and looking forward to it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's yeah, I don't know how much you can read into that kind of stuff, because, you know, over the course of that time, I guess he's faced different types of sort of Tottenham teams, so, and different managers. So sometimes just circumstance, but I know from our perspective, you know, for the most part, against kind of the teams that are challenging, we've done well in the 2 years I've been here. You know, I mean, there's been a couple of games we've got blown away. For the most part, our struggles have been against, you know, teams that aren't doing as well in the league rather than the teams that are doing well. And I think part of that is because, you know, we play against teams who are also trying to sort of dominate the game, and that allows us to play our football. So, you know, at the same time, you can't be dismissive of the quality they have. And, you know, like I said, it looks like they're going through a really rough trot at the moment, but that's because of the unbelievable standards they've set over the last, you know, well, since Pep's been there, to be honest, in terms, not just results, in terms of the football they play. Yeah, look, I think it's just the way of elite sport, you know, and it just sheds light on how extraordinary they have been. They should, you know, the fact that they did win 4 in a row, and the consistency of that 4 in a row, of just the sheer numbers they accumulated in terms of points, in terms of goals, in terms of wins. It's just, you know, competing in all. It's just an unbelievable and probably unprecedented standard that they set, and it's only natural that that's never going to continue forever. I mean, that's just not sustainable. But you know what? If they bounce back next year and win it, which I don't think anyone in this room could discount that's possible, and you say they've won 5 out of 6, you'd be going, they're still pretty good. So, more than pretty good. So, you know, it's sometimes these things happen. You know, I think injuries, key injuries, and you know, some things that go on against them sometimes just brings you back to the field, and that's elite sport. It's just fine margins. Yeah, as I said last week, he's been outstanding. He continues to be outstanding. The challenge for Jed is to keep going. You know, not to be satisfied with what he's got now, and with the same hunger and attitude that he's taken his opportunity. As you said, that's all you can sort of provide, is an opportunity. He needs now to make sure that, you know, he doesn't look back from that, and keeps pushing on, because you know, he's got still so much, I think, growth in him and potential. You know, he hasn't really been settled in his career, apart from sort of, you know, maybe the year was at Forest where he kind of really had some great form, but since then it's been stop-start for him. Well, he's just got to ensure now that he's up and running, he keeps going. No, he was only really available for the weekend, but because of the matchday squad and the kind of makeup of the squad, I left him out. Obviously, with Ben going out, we put Reggie on as an extra defender on the bench, but it was only Sunday's game he was actually available, but he's trained and he's available for tomorrow. No, it's still the same. He's been carrying a little bit of a knock for a little while, and he's, to be fair to him, he's played through it. But I've said before that I think this is a real key period for us. I want as many players in the best possible condition for what's coming up. And, you know, after this game, again, we've got a good 7-day break leading into then Europe League, which is, those 4 games are going to be massive for us. And I don't see the need to push people at this stage when we've got others that, like I said, probably need the game time, like, you know, Destiny and Brennan Wilson, these guys who are coming back. So so he hasn't re-injured or anything, but it's just, like I said, he's been carrying something that I just don't want to sort of push at the moment. Yeah, look, he's working hard, Dane. Like you said, he's had a couple of he's had a couple of difficult loans, and that's part of the process as well for him. You know, we were just talking about Jed, who had 3 difficult loans. So, you know, some of it is just perseverance and keep working hard and waiting for your opportunity. And, you know, he has done well for us. You know, I said when he came back, he wasn't in the greatest physical condition, and he's working hard on that. And hopefully he gets more opportunities. As an aside, I've got to say, the assist is the most useless statistic in world football. Seriously, it could come off your backside, fall to somebody on the halfway line, and he scores, and it's an assist. So it doesn't impress me. But Dane's assist on the weekend was a good one. There you go. Okay.